right, Steelers Nation, buckle up because today's episode is absolutely packed. The quarterback rumor mill is spinning like crazy, and we got to talk about the biggest name circling the Pittsburgh Steelers right now, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, you heard that right. There's a real possibility, folks, that Rodgers could end up in the black and gold. And while it might sound like a Madden fantasy to some people, there are real signs that this might actually go down. And it could happen sooner than you think. A respected Steelers insider, someone plugged into the inner workings of the franchise, is predicting that Rodgers could officially join the Steelers before mandatory minicamp kicks off next week. That's June 10th, just days away, and the buzz around this situation is only growing. Now let's rewind a bit and look at everything we've seen this offseason. Rodgers hasn't signed anywhere. Despite the official start of free agency being over 2 months ago, the future Hall of Famer remains unsigned. And while some people see that as a red flag, others are connecting the dots. Rodgers was spotted throwing passes to DK Metcalf. He only visited one team, the Steelers. Pittsburgh has been the quiet, steady contender behind the scenes, and all signs are pointing in one direction. Add to that the fact that the Steelers are in the middle of organized team activities right now, and we're getting really close to decision time. According to reports, this isn't just idle speculation. It's coming from someone who's followed Rodgers closely, someone who has a real track record. He's saying that the likely timeline is either this Friday or over the weekend, with Rodgers officially joining the squad by Monday or Tuesday. That lines up perfectly with the start of minicamp, and it makes sense from every angle. The Steelers would love to avoid a full-blown media circus during training camp when things get serious. By signing him before minicamp, the team can control the narrative, let the media have their frenzy now, and then move on with real football by the time July rolls around. And here's another thing. Veterans on the Steelers roster are expected to show up to minicamp. Every single one. If Rodgers isn't there, even if he signs later, it could ruffle some feathers inside that locker room. This is a franchise that prides itself on team culture, on unity, and if the newest guy, no matter how talented, skips out on mandatory responsibilities, that could spark some tension. Now, will Rodgers care? Probably not. The man has been vocal for years about how little he values these off-season programs. He said it before, these early workouts don't matter to him, especially after playing for 2 decades in the league. And now, for the first time in his career, he's a free agent. He's got total control. And from his perspective, there's no need to show up early, especially if he knows he'll just get the same playbook installed once training camp starts. But that's the million-dollar question. Will he sign now or will he wait? Because if he waits, he avoids fines, avoids unnecessary travel, and still shows up fresh for camp. Think about it. Every team installs the same offensive concepts during minicamp, and then again when training camp begins. Rodgers, a 4-time MVP, isn't exactly in desperate need of those reps. He's done this for 20 years. He could literally learn the new offense on a flight to Latrobe and be fine. Would it be ideal for him to sign before minicamp? Of course. It would help with chemistry, help build a connection with guys like Roman Wilson, Zach Frazier, and Arthur Smith, his new play caller. But make no mistake, not signing this week isn't a deal breaker. The bigger picture is the season and everything Rodgers brings to the table. The leadership, the arm talent, the experience, none of that disappears because he missed a few June practices. What matters is having him in place when the real work starts. Training camp, preseason, week 1. Now let's pivot for a second. Let's say for the sake of argument that Rodgers doesn't sign. Then what? Do the Steelers have a backup plan? Well, yeah, and it's not just Mason Rudolph and Will Howard. Another name that's getting traction right now is Kirk Cousins. And here's why this is interesting. After June 1st, the Atlanta Falcons can save a ton of money in dead cap space by trading him. Before June 1st, that number was sky high. We're talking over $37 million, but now it drops to just $12.5 million. That's a massive difference, and it makes a potential trade far more realistic. But Cousins comes with baggage. Not off-field drama, but money. The man is still owed a significant amount of guaranteed cash, and if the Steelers want him, they'd either have to eat a big chunk of that contract or give up some serious draft capital, maybe a mid-round pick. That's not ideal, and that's a huge reason why Aaron Rodgers is still the clear-cut top option. Rodgers reportedly is willing to play for just $10 million. That's right, $10 million. That's less than what Cousins would cost, both financially and in terms of draft picks. No brainer, right? And here's where it gets even messier. Some so-called insiders are saying the Steelers might just roll with Rudolph if Rodgers doesn't sign. That's right. According to some reports, the plan B is Mason Rudolph starting, backed up by a veteran free agent. But let's be honest here, those same insiders have been wrong time and time again. They said George Pickens wasn't going anywhere. Boom, traded. They said Deontay Johnson was a lock to stay. Traded a week later. They claimed Fields or Russell Wilson would be the guy this year. Both are gone. So yeah, take those plan B reports with a grain of salt. Still, the Steelers do have options. If Rodgers flakes or if something changes last minute, there's a pool of veteran backups who could step in behind Rudolph. Think Ryan Tannehill. Think Carson Wentz. Even Teddy Bridgewater. All of them are out there. And all of them could realistically land in Pittsburgh if the quarterback situation doesn't go the Rodgers route. Tannehill in particular has history with Arthur Smith. They worked together in Tennessee and had real success. Wentz, despite his ups and downs, still has a live arm and could thrive in the right situation. But let's not get too deep into backup plans yet, because as of right now, the Rodgers to Pittsburgh path is still very much alive. There are real conversations happening. There are connections being made. And more importantly, there's a shared vision. Rodgers wants a chance to win. The Steelers want to compete right now. It's a perfect match. And let's not forget what the Steelers are building. DK Metcalf is here now. That's a huge weapon. A big-bodied, explosive wide receiver who can dominate in contested catch situations and stretch the field. The offense is being tailored to fit around a quarterback like Rodgers, with playmakers, a new-look offensive line, and a scheme that's going to prioritize balance, physicality, and play action. The puzzle pieces are coming together, and Rodgers is the missing one. So as we head into minicamp week, all eyes are on the next few days. Will we see that Rodgers to Pittsburgh deal finally happen? Will the black and gold make their biggest quarterback splash since trading up for Big Ben? If it happens, don't be surprised if Rodgers makes the announcement himself on his favorite platform, the Pat McAfee Show. That's where he's dropped big news before, and if history repeats itself, that's where we might hear it first. And even if he doesn't show up for minicamp, don't count him out. There's still a whole offseason ahead, and Rodgers can do a lot on his own terms. He's already been spotted training with DK Metcalf at UCLA. During this break between minicamp and training camp, a lot of quarterbacks organize their own throwing sessions. Rodgers could easily fly out Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin III, Pat Fryermuth, anyone he wants, and put in that chemistry work in a more relaxed setting. No media, no coaches, just reps and relationships. Now shifting gears a bit, let's talk about some news that shook the Steelers tight end room. Donald Parham Jr. is out for the season, torn Achilles during practice. And just like that, the Steelers lose a big body who was projected to play a significant depth role in Arthur Smith's tight end heavy offense. It's a tough blow, no question about it. This system relies on 12 and even 13 personnel. That's 2 or 3 tight ends on the field at once. And losing a guy like Parham so early throws a wrench into that rotation. But that's football. And now the front office has to respond. There are still some solid names in free agency. Gerald Everett, Jordan Akins, Michael Pruitt, even CJ Uzoma, and a veteran Mercedes Lewis, all still out there. And a few of them have worked with Rodgers in the past, which gives them a bit of a head start in learning the system and building trust. But here's where things get really interesting. The Steelers have reportedly reignited trade talks with the Miami Dolphins for none other than Jonnu Smith. Yes, last year's Pro Bowl tight end. And here's the kicker. Smith is looking for a new deal. He's heading into the final year of his contract and clearly wants to cash in after the best season of his career. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In what could be one of the most surprising moves of the offseason, rumors are swirling around the NFL community about a potential historic change involving New England Patriots quarterback Drake May. According to sources close to the league, May might be preparing to leave the Patriots and make a bold move to the Pittsburgh Steelers, shaking up the dynamics of both teams and possibly the entire conference landscape. Drake May, who has been an integral part of the Patriots' offensive scheme, is reportedly considering a departure that would see him leave the familiar surroundings of New England. This potential switch is causing quite a stir, because it would mean not only a change of team, but a move across conferences, a rare and significant shift for a quarterback of his stature. May's departure from the Patriots would mark a clear turning point in his career, signaling his intent to embrace new challenges and opportunities in Pittsburgh. The Steelers, known for their rich history and passionate fan base, could benefit enormously from acquiring a talent like May. His mobility, arm strength, and leadership skills align well with Pittsburgh's offensive philosophy. And insiders suggest that the team is eager to bolster its quarterback position with a player of May's caliber. If the rumors are true, this move could reinvigorate the Steelers' offense and position them as serious contenders in the coming seasons. For the Patriots, losing May would undoubtedly leave a gap, prompting questions about how they plan to restructure their offense and who will step up to fill the quarterback role. The team has always been strategic in its decisions, and this rumored departure might be part of a broader plan to rebuild or redirect their focus on developing new talent or pursuing other key players in the draft or free agency. What makes this possible transfer even more intriguing is the potential ripple effect it could cause across the NFL. A quarterback switch in conferences is not a common occurrence, especially one as promising as Drake May. Fans and analysts alike are buzzing about the implications this could have on divisional rivalries, playoff scenarios, and the overall balance of power in the league, while nothing has been confirmed. Yet the chatter around May's possible move to the Steelers is growing louder by the day. Sources close to both organizations remain tight-lipped, fueling even more speculation and anticipation. Could this be the start of a new era for both teams? Will May's arrival in Pittsburgh mark a turning point in his career and the Steelers' fortunes as the offseason progresses? All eyes will be on the Patriots and Steelers, waiting to see if this rumor will materialize into a groundbreaking deal. For now, it remains a tantalizing possibility, one that could reshape the NFL landscape in ways few anticipated. Fans should stay tuned, as the Drake May saga might just be unfolding into one of the most talked about stories in football this year. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.